Right, bit of a nightmare. Well, of course, I've done all this, but we don't know if it works. Feels like it's stuck on something.
Houston, we've had a problem. Okay, stand by.
Welcome back to the channel and to another video on the Fiat Barchetta. In this video, we're going to change the ABS module. I'm actually going to put that down because it's a bit heavy. And hopefully try and fix the brake problem once and for all. Can we finally fix a problem? Well, we'll find out one way or the other in today's video. Thanks for all your comments and questions in the last video. I try and answer them all if I can, so keep them coming. So remember to like and subscribe. Let's get to the video. Okay, the ABS module has finally arrived, so let's open it up and see what we've got. But I'm still not sure whether to do it myself, fit it myself, or maybe take it back to the Bosch service centre and get them to do it. I mean, the idea of the channel is to do as much as I can myself, so maybe I'll just give it a go. So it's exactly the same as the one that's on there at the moment. So I don't know if it's just a case of unbolting the old one and putting the new one on. I just don't know. Also, I don't know if it works, if it's 100% working or not, but I assume it is. So. Right, so what I'll do first, I think, is loosen all these pipes on the car before I undo the bolts and take it off, because that'll be easier. That could be something to sort of give me some purchase when I'm undoing the nuts. And I think I'll take the battery out as well. That'll give me more room to get to everything. And I think that's about it. Those two there are missing on the new ABS module, but that's not a problem. They're all there and in the same position, so I'm not going to undo at this point. I'm just going to undo here and take them out. I think that's it. So battery out first, and then we'll start taking this out. So on our new unit, we can see that it's held in by 3 support brackets there, and one on the other side as well. Yeah. So they seem to be pretty flexible and they just sort of come off. And there's a rubber boot there. I don't know how much sort of fluid's going to leak out, but I'm just going to sort of put stuff around it anyway, just to soak up anything that drips out. I'm just going to spray on some lubricant to help me undo these, because I'm guessing they've not been undone since the car was built. Okay, I've got my special spanner. Let's try and do this one first. Now this one I did try and undo it before. This is the one that goes to the back wheel, but it's really tight, so let's try again. If I can get the spanner in there. Let's get rounded off actually, which is ideal. So that's what I need, is that you're not rounded off. And are really tight. I'll put some more penetrating fluid on there and see if that helps. Right, bit of a nightmare on this one. It just won't come loose. All the other three are loose, but this one just won't budge. This is plan B, because the nut is pretty well rounded now, so I'm going to have to try and get it off with this and then do it up with this as well after. There you go. Right, so that's that. Oh man, it's a nightmare. Right, now we can start getting everything apart. Right, so they're all loose now. So I think the next thing to do will be I'll disconnect the electrical connection, and then we'll undo the bolts holding it in. Terrible for dropping screws and everything inside the engine, so Gotta be careful. Right, looks like there might be a little clip there at the back. Yeah, that's it. So we're getting there. I have a little thing here to take out. Right, that's all our electrical connectors done. Right, so on our new unit, we're missing these two. So I don't need to undo the brake pipes there. So I think I'll just undo there. I'll spray it with WD-40 anyway, but I'll just undo those two there and pull them out, and that should be enough. Let's loosen this off. Not tight at all. There's another one down the back. Just can't get the camera in there, so. Alright, so that's everything loose. Right, we'll take everything off just to get it ready. And we can just swap them over. Probably actually keep those in case I get a new pipe made again in the future, or need a new pipe, then I can just put those on over the new pipe. So I've got these two bolts here now. Pop that cover back on there just in case anything leaks out when I lift it off. Don't want anything getting liquid on it that doesn't need to. Thinking about it, what I should have done with that is, rather than mess around with it, it's obvious now, but you didn't think of these things when you're sort of doing the job. I should have just undone that and then taken that off of the new one. Anyway, it's done now, but there we go. Kind of obvious now, but it's, I don't know, you've probably done jobs yourself and you've thought, oh no, afterwards if I had done this, if I had done that. But that's just experience, I suppose. Also, one of the comments, someone said these are reverse screw thread because they've got a notch in, but, well, they might be reverse screw thread because they've got a notch in, but they're not. So if you do this on yours, then you don't have to worry about that. Just undo these here. Let's see how that more, a bit careful, there's a little washer there. Got it. I'm just going to put the bolts back in to stop anything leaking out. Let's try and lift it out. Feels like it's stuck on something. I see what it is, it's stuck on, I don't know if you can see it down there. There's an earth strap there. So I need to undo that as well, which is going to be tricky to film. But I think I can just loosen it and then the earth strap will pop off. Alright, the earth strap's undone, so I should just be able to lift it out. Yep. Right, let's get this one back in, the new one. There we go. I'll try and get these two in on the side done. Let's tighten these up. All tight. Let's plug everything back in now, all the connections. Well, of course I've done all this, but we don't know if it works, do we? So we'll put hopefully when we turn the ignition on there won't be an ABS light, but you never know. Right, that's everything tightened up on there. So I get the battery in now, and I'll also need to top up the brake fluid a bit as well, because it's gone down a bit, and then bleed the brakes, and then I'll test it with the pressure kit, and we can see if it's made a difference. So here's our brake testing kit. You've got a selection of valves there that you connect to you take off the bleed screw from the caliper and you put that in instead. So screw that in where you've taken the bleed screw out. So you connect that end to there, that screws in there, and then you pump the brake with the engine turned on and you'll get a reading on here. So we're looking for a reading of more than 5, hopefully up to 10. And what we'll do, we'll test every caliper and see what reading it gives. So I'm looking for a reading between there and there. So the caliper that didn't work before, the back right, the reading sort of came up to sort of about there, less than 5, which wasn't enough to pass the test at the inspection. So we'll test each corner and then we'll see how we get on. Right, the thing here is to be as quick as you can to stop any as little liquid coming out as you can. So I'm just going to loosen it off. I'm going to put a rag there to stop as much liquid as I can. So unscrew this one, quickly put in the other one, give it a bit of a tighten up, and then we put our gauge on. Tighten up. Right, so this will be the big test. I'm going to go and switch the engine on, and then when the engine on I'm going to press the brakes, and hopefully we'll see the needle go up between 50 and 100. Fingers crossed.
Okay, stand by it, and we're looking at it.
Alright, so what I've decided to do, because it was low pressure after I'd fitted the ABS unit, and you could see on the dial that it still wasn't giving enough pressure. So what I decided to do is test each section of the brake line that comes from the ABS module to the brake caliper. So the first section gave me weak pressure. So that connection there. So I hooked up my dial and tested it, and that was the same. So I'm still getting weak pressure there. So then I've hooked it up and I've bypassed the brake power regulator. So it goes around the back there onto that pipe there, and I've just tested it and I get the correct pressure. So that means that it's either the power regulator, which is brand new, causing the problem, or the pipe that goes from the power regulator to the caliper. So what I'm going to do next is connect this up to the other connector here and test the pressure again and see what reading I get. Right, let's test our brake power regulator, which is brand new Brembo. We'll see if that is causing a problem. I'll start the engine there. So it was the next day for the inspection. Didn't have time to get a new power regulator, so what I did was just hooked up the flexible hose to the two pipes in a loop. So I took it to the inspection, put it on the rolling road and the brake tester, and they tested the front wheels and the rear wheels, and they were perfect. Exact equal braking power for both. So that's it, job done. I've got my little sticker here, I don't know if you can see that. Got the little sticker there which shows I've passed the inspection. So that's it, I'm good for another year. Time to go for a drive. So thanks for watching, and if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and also hit the notifications bell, and you'll be informed when the next video comes out.